So, are we priests and priestesses then? Because we do sex magic and we rub oil into each other.
Well, I don't really know what a priest or priestess is, apart from just a title to suggest that someone is quite well versed on certain things. That's the sort of pagan view of it, is someone who's a wise, kind of has done a lot of stuff, who knows what that particular craft is about. That makes them a priest or a priestess. They have to take certain rites of passage to do that, I think. Because you can be a solitary, which we are, really, because we're not part of any group or...
I am. It's official. Facebook has me on a database as being part of a group.
Well, I am as well, but that doesn't make me a priestess, I'm sure.
I think I am a priest in that group.
No, he just talks a lot on there.
I don't. Not as much as... Well, you're just as much as anyone else.
No, I don't really consider myself to be a priestess.
But we're nearly there.
Because I don't really feel that I need to give myself a title that suggests that I know better than anyone else when I don't.
Why are we making this recording then?
Because I'm interested in exploring. I would honestly say with hand on heart that I don't know jack shit, really. And it's all just my speculation of things. And it could be right and it could be wrong, but I'm certainly not sitting here pretending that I know a lot of stuff.
But the nature of a story, yeah.
It's exploration.
Going back to words and how we use words and how storytelling is, I think, quite basic to communication. The nature of a story is that you give yourself over to the storyteller, at least for as long as the story lasts. So the length of, if whoever's listening, if anyone is listening to this, has in fact given themselves over to our line of thought, and therefore in their mind at present, but perhaps not indefinitely, we are at least elevated.
Well, that shouldn't be the case.
Well, that's how it is. That's how it is when you consume any information, you know. You read something.
Yeah, but I'd like to think that anyone who wants to listen to this ramble would have the fortitude of mind to think, okay, I will have an open mind.
Yes.
And listen to people.
Yes.
But I'm not going to take it as gospel. I'm not going to be a follower. I'm going to look at it with a critical mind who's able to think for myself.
Yes.
I kind of would ask anyone of that.
Yes, and I would too. But what I'm saying is, for the moment, right here, right now,
I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. That's rubbish. That is absolute nonsense, and that's your ego that's talking, because you like to think that you know better than anyone else.
It doesn't mean I know better than you, the listener. It means that I'm talking now, and therefore you have to be listening.
No, they don't. They could just switch it off, and they probably would, listening to this.
If they had switched it off, they wouldn't hear me say that phrase.
And
if they didn't hear me say that phrase, then it's not there as far as they're concerned, and there's no issue. If you heard me say that phrase just then you're listening. It's simple communication.
Yes, but that doesn't put you above them in any way just because you happen to be the one that's talking.
I think if you...
That is ego.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. And this is exactly what we need to get away from in culture.
It's not ego.
It is,
it's
by the way.
Communication. To listen to someone, you have to turn yourself off and become a receiver. Yeah?
Yes, but that doesn't... The receiver part doesn't mean you're below the one that's talking.
No, it doesn't mean below. I never said below. But what effectively is a priest if it's not someone who stands up in front of people and talks? That's what I see as a priest. That's what I grew up with as a priest. The guy would stand up, go to the front and talk loudly, and everyone would listen to him. That's a priest, someone who talks.
Yes, yeah? And that is another reason why I don't want to be called a priest or a priestess. That's exactly what I was saying. Because it immediately puts you in a mindset that you are in authority to other people. And that's complete bollocks as far as I'm concerned. And anyone who actually... I've always felt this when it comes to kind of the earth-based religions that I was interested in. Anytime someone said they were a priest or a priestess, I immediately kind of had my spidey senses going on, thinking, okay, what's this about?
Yeah.
They don't really know any more than me. This is bollocks, because no one knows any more than anyone else. Yeah. Fact. That is about the only thing that is ultimately true in any of this. It's all just opinion and perception and perspective of things. That's it.
Yeah. So
that is why I would never ever say that I am a priestess.
No, I'm not asking you to say it.
No.
No, I'm not saying it either, because the formalisation...
And I don't think anyone else should either.
The formalisation of it has a feedback. It feeds back into the ego.
Yeah, it does.
To make yourself think that you're better than other people.
Like those priests that you grew up with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't deny that. But my point is, still, that if you choose to describe this state of someone talking versus someone listening to them, which happens all the time, then the person who's talking is currently in control.
Yes, but they have to then let go of that and let the other person talk as well.
Indeed. That's true.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's good communication.
Yeah.
Not just someone talking at the front of a bunch of people. You know, I hope that this conversation, if anyone does listen to this, might spark off some kind of conversation in equal, kind of an equal playing field that everyone can have their opinion on. Because I'm sure if anyone listens to this shit, then they're going to have an opinion on it.